Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Well, welcome, everyone. Today, I'm really pleased to have someone I call my friend and a creative talent. I could even probably call you creative genius, huh?
Oh,
Derrian
wow.
Childress. So really, Derrian, I appreciate so much for you taking the time, because I know you're so busy, taking the time to be with us today.
Oh, it is my absolute pleasure. I appreciate it. And this is an honor to be with you. So thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to be a part of Playin on Music Row. It is greatly appreciated.
Oh, you're more than welcome. It's great to see you again today. Would you please tell us, our listening audience, how you became interested in music and doing a Michael Jackson tribute?
Gladly. So, yes, my name is Derrian Childress. I am a multi-hyphenate, multi-dimensional, multifaceted creative. And I've been, I've been into music for as long as I remember. Pretty much, I would say maybe since I came into this world, thanks to my parents and just being around all kinds of great music in the household. And my first musical inspiration, and still the longest lasting and greatest inspiration, is Michael Jackson. I love everything about him. Like, he is a true genius, and he was also a creative in many ways. Most people know of him, for the music, but he was just such a visionary, which made, his music and his videos, and or he called them short films, and just all kinds of visual and musical elements. He just made them come alive. So he was the first and greatest inspiration that really captivated me. And my mom told me, like, when I was a child, that I would be asleep, like, in my bed or in my crib, and anytime Michael Jackson came on TV or I heard him, I would wake up immediately. There was something special and magical about him. So I really took to him, as well as many other great artists, but he was the first. And so I started emulating him, singing like him, dancing like him, just wanting to be like him, but also wanting to, express myself creatively and musically as well. And that's what led me to, all the musical opportunities that I've gotten into today, as well as, paying tribute and honoring Michael Jackson whenever I can.
Oh, well, great. Well, you recently performed Michael Jackson's Jam and at an event. Could you tell us a little bit about that event? And
Yes,
about how you ended up recording it, because we're going to play it after this.
gladly. So I performed this song, Jam by Michael Jackson, which is the opening track from his 1991 Dangerous album. And it's one of my all-time favorite Michael Jackson songs. And the event that was taking place, it was MJ The Later Years, which was presented by this amazing musical community and collective known as Soul Vibes Global. And it is an event and community that highlights, appreciates, and honors soul music and soul artists in all respects. And so the event took place on June 25th, which was the anniversary of Michael Jackson's passing. And I usually don't acknowledge that day or any day in which the greats experience their sunset, because it's sad, but at the same time, it's all about celebration. And that was something I did not do when June 25th rolled around. I tried to, block it out of my head, because again, I remember where I was and when the news found out, and it was just very sad. But Janelle Means, who is the founder of Soul Vibes Global, she approached me with the opportunity to do this. And she's also a huge Michael Jackson fan. And I just couldn't refuse. And so I said, this would be the time for me to honor him and his work and show how much he means to me and has always meant to me. And so I put my all into this performance. And it's definitely one of the most significant performances I've ever done. I love being a part of that tribute.
Okay, fine. We're now going to play Jam.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Of the world must come together. Face the problems that we see in me. Somehow we can work it out. I asked my neighbor for a favor. She said later, what has come of all the people? Have we lost love of what it's about? I had to find my people. No one seemed to let me be. My prophets crying over all the possibilities. I told my brothers there'll be problems and tears from them. We must make each day like this. I told my brother, don't you ask me for no favor. I'm conditioned by the system. Don't you talk to me, who's screaming and shout. She brings her back to Buddha. Did she sing the tell them so? Confusions, contradictions, that do we no right or wrong. I just want you to recognize me in the temple. You can't hurt me, I found you within myself. Go with it, go with it.
Here goes the man, hot man. The big boy stands moving up ahead. Maybe from the ranks with my man Michael Jackson. Now that's the man, Mike, so relaxed. Eagle, eating in the jungle. So push the door, 3 or 4 in the bundle. Let's do the plan, cause it's cool like a man. No intent to a guy, I will make it such a big one. It ain't too much stuff. It ain't too much. It ain't too much for me. Not one. It ain't too much stuff. It ain't too stop. It ain't too much stuff.
Ah, fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you.
You really have the moves, and that's exciting. Let me tell you.
Thank you so much.
Uh, I really enjoyed it. Like, so you enjoyed it too, watching it.
I do. Like I sometimes I look back. I'm not the biggest fan of looking at myself, but I've gotten better about it over the years because I just pick apart everything. But it's also a way for me to sometimes if there's an area that I need to improve upon, I need to look back and correct it. But now I can look back and pat myself on the back a little bit because I've come a long way because it still amazes me how I was the shyest kid. I only performed on stage one time as a child when I was 5 at Garden View Elementary School in Memphis, Tennessee. That is my hometown. And of course, I performed Bad by Michael Jackson at that time. But that was the only time I got on stage, maybe a couple of other school-related functions. But I was so shy and so in my shell that I've come such a long way that I can be on stage and give my all on stage and pour my heart out and my soul and give everything for the audience and share that joy of performing, singing, dancing, all of that. And when I receive that joy back from the audience, it is very fulfilling. It shows that this is my calling. That's what I'm meant to do.
Well, you're not the only one. Like there's many people who are kind of shy that they are great at being on stage. I want to ask you now. You've appeared in a lot of different events, and can you give us a little bit of an idea of some of the events that you've appeared in?
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned, Soul Vibes Global, I've appeared in many of the events thrown by that community and collective honoring soul music. And I just love being a part because there are so many great musicians and people who are in that collective who all have the same goal in mind of honoring, the great soul music and the artists, as well as honoring their gifts and talents and networking with each other. And it is a wonderful thing because Nashville has such a diverse music community. No matter what genre you're in, it just feels good to, navigate through all that. So I've been with a lot of Soul Vibes Global events. I've performed with many different bands, including the Janelle Means band, who I've mentioned. She's also the founder of Soul Vibes Global, but she's also an artist as well. And she has a great band. So sometimes she invites me to be a part of her shows as a special guest, which I love because that band is amazing. And to say the least. And also I've been a part of great music events such as Loud Jams, which was founded by another great person and musician known as Tom Hurst, which Soul Vibes Global was inspired by. And Loud Jams was more rock-based, but it was, a collective of all different genres, all different musicians, all types of people. So I've been in Loud Jams, been a part of West Haven Porch Fest for many years with a few of my friends who formed a group known as Chasing Lily, and been a part of other tribute performances, such as being a special guest for Resurrection, which is a Journey tribute. And that band is also, top notch. And I've just been, just thinking back to all of these events and musical spaces that I've been in, whether it's Stern and Lindsley or Analog at Hutton Hotel or Exit In, being a part of the West Haven community and their events all throughout Nashville. It's been a wonderful journey. I love being a part of all of these great events with all these great people and all these great venues.
Well, the audience loves having you, believe me. And so now we have a montage. Derrian.
There ain't nobody there but girl, when you dance, there is this magic that must be love. Just take a look, 'cause we got so far to go. When you feel that heat, just share that beat of love. so we can ride forever. You're tearing me apart every day. You're tearing me apart. Oh, why can't I stay? You're tearing me apart.
love that, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all. We got one.
Fantastic. You belong on
Thank
that stage there, Derrian.
Thank you. You know, so many in the audience would say that. And at first I used to, disagree because I would dim my light a little bit thinking I wasn't really deserving of it. But now again, it's like I'm finally coming into my own, and I am so grateful that the audience really enjoys what I do. And it's thanks to all of those great people and many more, like Janelle Means. And when I share the stage with her, I always say that her band and the people in it, greatness and excellence personified, because they're great people and great friends. And of course, Vic White, who's a part of Resurrection, as well as Vic and the Spoils, as seen in those videos, and Soul Chest, which is one piece of the original artist music puzzle that has been, fit in. Those are great friends of mine, we've been at it since the end of 2019 and, releasing original music as well as, doing a great show of covers and originals for different audiences as well. So I'm just grateful to be in all of those wonderful spaces and all the music peers that are around me and that I network with and befriend. It's just, it's really a blessing. Words really can't describe it. So I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm trying to describe it as best as I can, but the feeling is full of joy, gratitude, and honor for sure.
Yeah, well, God bless you with that talent. There's no
Thank
doubt about
you.
that. But I think another little talent, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, everybody, Derrian is an animator, great animator, talented. I mean, he's creative, very creative, wonderful animator. And you won an award as in the first place as for one of the best of videos. And can you tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved in animation?
Gladly, which that award was such a surprise. And it's like, wow, that's one of the unexpected blessings of my, creative journey as a whole. And how I've gotten into animation and visual art as a whole is art making an impression on me, just like music when I was a child. I would pay attention to all kinds of like logos and visual elements, signs, watching great cartoons as a child. And my dad, actually, credit to him for being a creative vessel as well. I was inspired by him because he could draw and he was also a musician, although his music days were before my time, but I was told stories about a lot of the things that he had done. And he did gift me with my first drum set when I was 8 years old. So I got a little taste of what he could do. But yeah, I would sit by him and watch him draw, and I would emulate him and emulate that. So we were both vessels for that blessing of being able to create art. And so I would draw in class a lot and be a part of different art classes. And in my teenage years, I said that I wanted to be involved in digital animation and graphic design, thanks to, again, the cartoons that I watched and the logos and other visual elements that, absorb my mind, and video games. I love like the great games that are now considered retro, like the Sonic the Hedgehog and the Super Mario Brothers, and those games that really made an impact on my life. And the art styles and, the elements and the storytelling, they all really resonated with me. So that was what got my path into animation. And I went to Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And that was my first foray into the Middle Tennessee area in general, for a long period of time. And so I've gotten my degree in animation, and I set off on my path of being a digital and traditional artist. And so I've worked in many different industries, government and press, publication, trade show, and many different service industries. And it led me to being able to create motion graphics as well as animation for different kinds of music related packaging, and as well as education-based industries. And again, that is another journey that has brought me in many different paths and allowed me to collaborate with many great people. And again, such a blessing. So when I received that award for being an independent animator and winning first place for that, it was like a blessing beyond compare. And it was also a way for me to pat myself on the back and say, well done, kid. Look at where you started, where you have ended up, and where you are continuing to go. So I love that journey very, very much.
Well, yeah, well done. I hope you don't mind if we play that particular award-winning music animated video.
Of course, I don't mind at all.
There was a guitar picking farmer from Tennessee. One day while picking guitar under an oak tree, he saw something that was oh so very odd. A chicken scratching dirt to the beat of his guitar. She's a wing flapping, tail shaking, music of a chicken that can't stay still whenever there's a beat. Yeah, she's a wing flapping, tail shaking, music of a chicken with a bobbing head and fast moving her feet. The farmer knew his chicken could one day be a star, so he showed her how to pluck the strings on his guitar. It wasn't long before her picking started clicking, and the farmer hit the road with his guitar picking chicken. Yeah, she's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken that can't stay still whenever there's a beat. Yeah, she's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken with a bobbing head and fast moving her feet. She's oh so talented, they put her on TV. Word got round that she was someone everyone should see. Now people come from miles around just to listen to the very, very famous guitar picking chicken. She's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken that can't stay still whenever there's a beat. Yeah, she's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken with a bobbing head and fast moving her feet. This guitar picking chicken is amazing for sure. Now she's riding on a bus around the country on tour. You sure won't wanna miss her when she's playing your town, cause this guitar picking chicken is the best show around. She's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken that can't sit still whenever there's a beat. Yeah, she's a wing flapping, tail shaking, guitar picking chicken with bobbing head and fast moving her feet. Play it, chicken.
Great job. Boy, that was very, very good. Do you still do
Thank
animation?
you. Absolutely, absolutely. I still do animation, and I'm glad to say that that journey will continue because, you know, what you have just presented, Guitar Picking Chicken, was such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful project. It brought me so much joy. And just like with music, doing that kind of art and bringing joy to everyone, including the youth, including kids, that warms my heart so much. So I'm glad to say that that will continue, you know, with more Guitar Picking Chicken related projects, as well as other great work in the educational space. I am doing work with currently with Room to Read, and in order to help promote literacy for kids in high need areas, I've been doing great graphic and illustration work with them. And so there's a lot more to come. I'm making sure that I'm navigating and being a part of various fields that are passionate and purpose driven, because that is my goal with everything that I do, whether it is animation, graphic design, illustration, music, stage performing, singing, all of that. I am passionate, I am purpose driven, I am joyful with the work that I do, and I want to make sure that it resonates to everyone who consumes the work that I do. So all of that will continue for sure.
Well, great. Well, I'll tell you, you're very talented. And so would be interesting to find out, how would people be able to get in touch with you to find out more about what you're doing?
So that is the awesome thing. At first, some of my friends would say that I was not the best with promoting myself, and I'll have to agree, but that is going to change. I am setting up my new website, which will be entitled DRC Unknown Entertainment. And the website will have the address drcunknownent.com. And the DRC part, it's an acronym for discovering your passion, realizing your purpose, and cultivating your power. When you do those things, discover your purpose, realize your passion, and cultivate your power, you will be your best self and ultimately your highest self. And that is when the blessings will flow. So that's the meaning behind the name, and it's also my initials as well. So DRC Unknown Entertainment will be the main home to connect with me, and there will be social media connected with that site to reflect all of the things that I am doing. So I look forward to really being out in the World Wide Web and social media space to connect with everyone, and for everyone to follow what I am doing.
You don't realize it, but you actually answered the last question there, which is was if you had any advice for the listening audience, and you did perfectly. So
Well,
thank you for that.
You're very
So
welcome.
yeah, well, I tell you, Nashville Broadcasting Network wants to thank you so much, Darren, for taking the time to speak with us. It really was you really blessed our audience, and I appreciate that so very much.
Thank you. And this is a blessing. I don't take this for granted at all. I am so grateful to be a part of this podcast. And I'm so grateful for you for creating this space to honor musicians and artists because, for some, to think that their art and the work they do is kind of thankless in a way. And it can be understandable because people consume art and music so much, but don't realize the work behind it, and don't realize how much it involves. And so sometimes the appreciation is not returned in some respects. But I can say that when I step out on stage, the audience fills me with so much joy and motivation to keep going. And I also get the same when I create my art for various clients and other great people. So this is such an honor, and I am going to continue my path on trying to be my best self and my highest self because, that's the way it is. Like I know this is beyond myself, and that's the main thing. Like this is for my fulfillment, but ultimately, this is for the people. I'm doing this for the people who consume my work. I'm doing this for my father, who has been flying high since 2014. He has not been in the world in the physical sense for quite some time, but spiritually he is still here. And so I'm honoring him. I'm honoring my family. I'm honoring great friends and people like yourself. And I will continue this journey to be my highest self. So I'm blessed and honored for this opportunity. So again, thank you for this.
Well, thank you, Derrian, and God bless you, buddy.
God bless you too. Thank you so, so, so much.
You're quite welcome.